now.
He said, good morning from Phoenix, Arizona, where it will hit 90 degrees today. Listen, Tom, be very grateful that you are the age that you are and you have the ability to be in Phoenix, because quite frankly, it's all I can think about right now.
How about that?
You know how many snowbirds are stuck up here right now? For whatever reason, not being able to get out of Canada into the warm locales.
November's like the worst month to be stuck here.
Yep.
At least by January, February, you're used to it.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. G'day, Canada. We're live. Hey, live.
I know. Boy, was I wrong, by the way.
Finally back in. No, November's not the worst month.
And December's been mild.
What are you thinking?
Life's been good.
It is 10:01 Central Time, Monday, December the 28th, in the year of our Lord 2020. And we're coming at you from the bunker out here in Western Canada. We're live. After a week of best of shows, we're coming at you here, ready to talk sports for the next 2 hours. And I will tell you something. Holy smorgasbord of sports on the weekend, which has given us a ton of things to talk about on the program today. Hour 1 on Facebook Live, Hour 2 on Game Plus TV. And I can see that the P1s, the Rod Squad, they're going nuts in the comment section already, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of them is Roxanne Theris from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. And where is it? They stopped by here already this morning and dropped off some awesome Rockstar Supply Chains bunny hugs. And maybe we'll award these to the Rockstar of the Day. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But your contestants for the Rockstar of the Day will be today Rich Sutter, our World Juniors Insider, and Tori Gurley, our NFL Insider. And speaking of NFL, those watching can see it. For those listening at rodpedersen.com/listen live, they can't see it. I'm wearing my Dallas Cowboys pullover, which was a gift from a P1, okay? Jamie Anstey, the equipment manager of the Cole Harbour Colts junior hockey team out of Nova Scotia, sent this to me. He's been asking why I haven't been wearing it yet. I was waiting for just the right day.
Yeah. You found it. Today's the day.
Say it. How about them Cowboys? They had their way with the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. And I'm no mathematician, but they're saying, as I was watching Sunday Night Football last night, that they're still in the hunt. And I'm like, for what? Well, not the number one pick, I know that. Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, not the Jets. They're not in the hunt for the division lead, I don't think. But whatever, we won. And today's a day to celebrate it and wear this pullover. Thank you very much, Jamie Anstey, out in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, the home of Sidney Crosby.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they are in the hunt, wildly enough. And the NFC East, the picture is really simple. Washington wins, they're in. But if they lose, the winner of that Dallas-New York Giants game on the weekend,
huge.
The winner will win the division. That's incredible. Who would have thought, 6-8 weeks ago that we'd be here today? And the Red Rifle is getting it done. He's looking good.
Well, everything's going according to plan.
Yeah.
So I see Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events, writes in and says, can that logo be any bigger? Listen, everything's bigger in Texas, the great state. And we're in a great mood this morning. Larry Dye says, every NFL team I cheer for lost on the weekend. I don't know what to say about that. It was a great weekend, though, and I'll just say this just before we get into the quick 6 show topics here. Because we had Roxanne and Darnell here from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions this morning, and they were talking about last night's Russia-Czech game at the World Jays. And I wasn't watching it. I was going back and forth between Sunday Night Football and Netflix, and there was a lot on TV, sports-wise. And I said to those two, and you were part of the conversation, all the World Juniors is doing is making me miss junior hockey more.
Yeah.
So, because it's a blur. We all know that the World Juniors are just a blur. Like, bing, gone. It's a round robin, and then one-and-done playoffs, and you're out. And then what? So I don't want to think next week to January 6th when this is all over, but it's just really making me miss junior hockey. And the point is, on Saturday, we got an NFL. There was a triple header going on. We had what? We had NBA going on.
Yep.
And then I had a coach text me and say, hey, Ken's team, Liberty's playing. Put it on TSN 2. So all right, I go over there. There was a ton of sports on this weekend.
Oh, yeah. It was just jam-packed. It was so great because there were, again, so many days, and having the World Junior start on Christmas Day, mix it in with football and, bowl games and whatnot, and into Boxing Day and yesterday. And, I mean, it couldn't have been better, especially for a time when we're all kind of stuck at home and not able to go out and do what we normally do on the holidays. I thought it was an amazing weekend.
It was an amazing weekend. Kyle Outridge writes in, he says, then the NHL fires up a week later. Thank you, Kyle. That's coming up in my Quick Six show topics. And I also want to thank Kyle for sharing my Monday morning goalie column this morning. Thank you, Kyle, for tweeting that on my behalf. I appreciate that. And I think that's enough of a preamble. Let's get into the Quick Six show topics. Please, Director Jordan. Thank you. Well, number one, Canada is 2-0 at the World Junior Hockey Championship. And you can set your clock by it. Canadians are bitching that they haven't won properly. They do kind of remind me of Rough Riders fans. If you win by too much, they're picking out the mistakes.
Yep.
Like in the 16-2 game. How'd they allow 2 goals?
Scored too many. Disrespectful. Didn't score enough. This team sucks.
You picked right up on where I was going.
Oh, yeah.
And then they beat Slovakia 3-1 yesterday, and it's 1-0 through 2 periods. And even the TSN analysts are like, ho, 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 this is closer than it should be. Am I the loser if I say, can we just enjoy the game?
I know.
Holy Canada! I find it kind of funny. You're 2-0. And my point on this is I would think you folks realize this is the regular season. Next week is the playoffs. They don't need to be perfect now. If they soil the sheets next week, go nuts. What am I saying? They're not going to listen to me. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the hockey. Look, I'm picking out all the same things you are. But newsflash, I'm not the coach. Nor are you. And Craig McTavish rather famously said when he was the head coach of the Oilers, we don't critique our wins. Which I don't really like that. I would like to think that they were critiquing their wins with the Edmonton Oilers back in the day. But I get what he's saying to the media. Back off, we won. Or maybe a Shooter McGavin line. Right? What do you think of what Happy Gilmore was doing out there today? I don't know. I was too busy winning. Is that too much to say?
No, I mean, they won the games. And, you heard Andre Tournier talk about the tight win against the Slovaks and after that game, and he said, we learned a lot. You learn how to deal with a little adversity or struggle through a game like that and not make the big mistake that ends up costing you the game when it's played so tight defensively. And teams play different, right? The Slovaks might go out and, win a game or lose a different game or play differently. But when you're playing against such a heavy team and there's such a disadvantage, a real David Goliath, you sit back, you play a different game. It's like, we're going to shell. We're not looking for shots on goal here. We're just going to try and keep them off the board. And if we get a chance, we hope we can score 1 or 2 goals. You play completely different when you're playing a team like Canada.
So much comments coming in. John Schmidt says, the Oilers don't win much anyways, Roddy. Hey, watch your mouth. They were the highest finishing Canadian team in the standings last year, the Edmonton Oilers. Tammy Stevenson, right? It slipped off the screen. Maybe you guys can find it. It said something about how people are never happy. Holy. No kidding. There you go. Tammy, can't make anyone happy. Complain regardless. These kids are doing what they can and living their dream. Let them. I would like to think the players stay off their phones and don't read what's said about them, but they do. You know that they do.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course. They get back in and their mentions are blowing up and they're like, you can't not look at it. You're sitting there and the little number of the thing says, the icon says 100 plus or too many notifications on Twitter.
Right.
It's so hard to not click it and just look at them.
We're getting a note from some of our viewers that there's an audio issue, although not everybody's having an audio issue. So is there an issue, guys? Or is it operator error? Should I take a break? Okay, Clark says keep rolling. Some are having an issue, some aren't. But they're working on it. My favorite 4 words in broadcasting. We're working on it. Point 2, it's our poll question today. The Connor McMichael hot dog move. He went between his legs, Merrick Malik style, last night in a 1-0 game and did not score for Team Canada. I'm interested to hear or see what the poll results are so far for this. Do you have a problem with Connor McMichael's between the legs move last night in a 1-0 game? Do you want to take a stab at what the...
They're up there now. I was going to say no.
75% on Facebook say no. 71% on Twitter say no. They don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. But we did debate this in the morning meeting 20 years ago. Everybody would have had a big problem with it.
Yeah. You show up in a tight game and you make that move between your legs, try and be fancy. It looks like a hot dog move, and you're like, just put the puck in the net, just shoot the puck, move it to your backhand, right? But now it's become such a part of the game that the players have perfected. They're so good at it now that they rarely miss. And when he puts it between his legs, he gets a really good shot off and up on the top, and it hits the goaltender in the shoulder, and he just missed. So it's not like he whiffed on it. Now, if he does it and whiffs on it, now it's, not really a high percentage, but they're so good at it now, and the goaltenders have trouble when you bring it back. Your body's going one way, but somehow the stick and the puck are back there.
It's a regular move now.
It's a good move now. It's a regular move.
By the way, everybody's applauding our tech crew here. They are the best tech crew I've ever worked with. They're the fastest pit crew in the business. They're so fast, you didn't even see them. But the audio issue is fixed, so thanks, guys. I love how far we've come as a nation. We're okay with hot dog moves like that. And he didn't even score. 20 years ago, they'd have been giving him hell if he had scored.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, embarrassing the Slovaks. In a 1-0 game.
That's unbelievable.
In a 1-0 game.
Point 3, Week 16 NFL notes, where to start. Oh, was I sweating? I've become a bit of a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It was the early game, and I'm tuning in to watch Chase Claypool. I've noticed a lot of Canadian football fans, with the absence of the CFL, have picked the Steelers as their team because of all the coverage of Chase Claypool. Problem was Ben Roethlisberger forgot about him yesterday for the first half. It was 24-7 for the Indy Colts early in the third quarter. Obviously, you were watching that game because you were tweeting about it. Mm-hmm. You might have jinxed them.
I think I did. And I'm never, one to celebrate too early or, write the check before it cashes, all that kind of stuff, right? But, yeah. And it's funny because you picked the Steelers in that game and I picked the Colts. And I wouldn't change my bet now, even knowing the result, because the Colts, I think, are the better team. They played that way, but that second half, it all clicked and came together for Pittsburgh. And when that ball of momentum gets rolling downhill, it is hard to stop. And you can see the Colts just completely shift their defensive philosophy. They moved into a prevent, just trying to stop the bleeding, and they just couldn't do it.
Well, it's like all the Steelers had their phones checking Twitter on their bench during the game, and they just got ticked off because people were laughing at them like crazy. And on cue, They came out, and it was like the Colts weren't even on the field. So anyways, we came back. Our betting partner, Come On Official, their featured bet of Sunday was the Steelers by 1.5. And what it looked like they were going to get their lunch fed to them, they ended up, I'm talking about Come On, they won the bet. They won by 4, and their odds were 1.5. That's one game. Yeah. What else? Tom Brady destroyed the Lions.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty great to see. It seems like they're clicking. Somebody, was heard on some of the coverage that because of the heat in Tampa, the players couldn't put in as much work as Tom Brady's used to in New England. The days are too hot, so you can't be on the field for that many hours that Tom Brady would like. Now that it's cooling off a little bit, he can get more out of his team. They can put in that extra work, and they're starting to come together now a little bit. At least it showed against Detroit, so that was pretty good to see.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, Tom Brady has set a record for touchdown passes in a season for Tampa Bay. And while they're not necessarily the Green Bay Packers as an historical franchise, they've still had some pretty good quarterbacks come through there, like Jeff Garcia. Brad Johnson won them a Super Bowl. Tom Brady has set a record. What does that tell you? He's not going anywhere.
No.
He may play, I'm not joking, another 4 years in Tampa Bay.
He might. Absolutely.
And Why would you blame him?
Weather's going to be easier on his body, too, and he's in a better mindset. If they have any success at all, which they already have had, yeah, he'll play as long as he can, I'm sure.
Pinkney watching, he says, Miami's comeback on that face mask on Fitzmagic. Wow. That was a wild game, wild ending. And while I checked in a little bit on your Titans-Packers game last night. Why were they saying that the officiating was terrible and they were gifting it to the Packers?
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad weekend of officiating, but the Titans played bad. It was, first of all, beautiful night. I mean, that is what the holiday football season should be. Lambeau Field.
Snow globe.
It was an absolute snow globe. It was beautiful. From start to finish. My team was getting killed, by the way. I picked Green Bay in my picks for come on.
It's a win-win.
So that was nice. But even the team getting killed, it looked so good. And I said that, it probably favors Derrick Henry a little bit on the run game. And he was fine. He ran for 100 yards, like 5 yards a carry. But Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay, they're used to the weather. So, the way they were passing the ball against the Tennessee defense was really, really good. But there was a block kick that they called back for offside that the announcers, they looked back at it, Al Michaels and Chris Collins, and nobody could see the offside. He didn't jump. He wasn't in the neutral zone, and it was a blocked field goal that turned into Tennessee having it on Green Bay's 30. So that got called back. There was a punt that hit a Green Bay player on the way they missed that. There was a couple others that were pretty blatant, not kind of opinion calls, pretty black and white that were missed, but that's not why Tennessee lost. They weren't very good last night.
We got to speed it up. I appreciate all your comments. We'll come back around on those later on. Our NFL insider, Tori Gurley, will be with us in hour 2. Point 4, Bills, Patriots tonight on Monday Night Football. They should put a disclaimer up that the following might be disturbing for some viewers because the Bills are just going to beat them down. 20 years of beatings laid on the Buffalo Bills by the New England Patriots tonight. You thought Canada ran it up on Germany. Just wait. That's tonight, Monday Night Football. Point 5, the NHL to play in Canadian cities. Boy, did they sneak that one under the radar like Christmas Eve. Really? Nobody's really talking about that because all the focus is on the World Juniors. But Darren Dreger has broken the story that Canada is going to have all 7 teams playing in their cities. Now, I didn't even read the article. I don't know how they're doing it, other than maybe John Lynch was right when he said, the NHL's just too big. It's just too big. They're going to play. And it looks like he was right.
Yeah.
Good for him. And point 6, CFL news. We'll have to save this for later and actually bring in Tori Gurley on that as well because he and Trevor Harris are super tight friends. They were teammates on the Argos. Trevor Harris has signed a new deal with Edmonton. And my question to you and our viewers is, do you envision the Edmonton football team winning a Grey Cup with Trevor Harris as their quarterback? Yes or no?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, I do.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
In the bunker anyways. And for their sake, I hope that they do.
I think they do. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks that we've seen in the Canadian Football League. I think they've got the right coaching staff in place now and some weapons around him. I think they're on the right track to win.
So that's the quick 6 show topics. On the way, Rich Sutter right after this break, a sports update, and Tori Gurley in hour 2. Everybody, thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you after the break. Don't touch that dial. You're watching the RP Show on Facebook Live, Game Plus TV, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
It's year-end clearance at Capital Ford Lincoln. The Capital Auto Group is giving away $50K. That's a $10,000 cash prize at each Capital store in Western Canada. Get the hottest deals on all new and used vehicles, the highest trade-in values of the year, and savings up to $20,000. Oh yeah, and did we mention you can enter to win cold, hard cash? All this and more during Capital's year-end clearance. Check out CapitalFordLincoln.com.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Monday morning coffee get-together. Canada's daytime sports talk show is live on the air, episode number 384. Coming to you from the sweatpants capital out here in Western Canada. And there is breaking news today. The Montreal Canadiens have signed forward Corey Perry to a one-year contract. One of our viewers, Robert Jarrett, writes in and says, what do you think of the deal? Well, don't take our word for it. Let's go to our hockey insider, if you don't mind. Rich Sutter joining us, our World Juniors guy, 13-year NHLer, Columbus Blue Jackets pro scout, and Sportsnet Flames analyst. Hey, Richie, happy holidays, my friend. Can we start there on Corey Perry to Montreal? What are your thoughts?
Well, you knew he was going to end up somewhere. I think that he probably had 2 or 3 offers on the table. I think he probably picked the best spot, obviously, where he feels that this team's got a chance to take a big step forward this year. I hope that come playoff time or near playoff time, he's wrong, personally, for selfish reasons. But the biggest thing is, look, this guy, they're signing this guy to not be the go-to guy during the regular season. They want this guy to kind of get his game wound up to where they feel it needs to be and where he thinks he's at his best, and that's coming down the stretch run when games are most important for this. It's going to be for this group, and hopefully a playoff appearance, and that's why he signed there.
You know, I know we're going to talk World Juniors with you, but I'm calling up the principals of that Tampa Bay-Ottawa trade. For us, it's Braden Coburn, Shaunavon guy, as you know. You predicted there would be insane things happening with the Lightning. It took a little longer, but it finally happened. With one trade on Saturday, Richie, or was it Sunday, the Lightning are under the cap. But that was an earth-shaking move, wasn't it?
It was, but I think you go back to last week about the Kucherov injury. I think that really, had they not had this injury with this player and knowing full well that there was going to be some push from management, they can say what they want to say, but if you don't have this injury where this guy does not get healthy and is not able to play without something being done in terms of surgery and being put on long-term IR. There's a lot of things that weren't going to get put in motion. I think with the injury, with the surgery, it allowed them, they say all of a sudden, it was like a Christmas gift, to tell you the truth. And it allowed them to move some things around and get the wheels in motion. That was going to make it a lot easier for them to circumvent, get around the cap, under the cap. Without the Kucherov injury, none of these things are going to happen, because all of a sudden they're going to have to start giving players away at discount prices to get under the cap. Kucherov's injury clearly put everything in motion, allowed things to happen prior to even the Ottawa trade yesterday. you look at the deal, you go, wow, like look what Ottawa got, and they still come out looking like they'd run out of the TD Bank with a bunch of free money yesterday.
No kidding. And here it is. Sens have acquired Braden Coburn, Cedric Paquette, and a 2022 second rounder for Marian Gaborik and goalie Anders Nilsson. So I do think it's a win-win on both sides, no doubt. To the World Juniors, Rich, we're 3 days in. What's your overall assessment of the play and how things have shaken down?
Well, I think people got a little jumpy 2 days ago in terms of what happened with the two games with the Americans and Canada's wins, lopsided wins. Look, we all know why. We all know Germany was just such a shortened bench. Look, they've got 4 or 5 guys that are not in this tournament simply because club teams wouldn't release players, COVID restrictions. This team just needs to get their lineup back in, even though the bench will be in a roundabout way shortened again today, just simply because of guys not really being able to practice that are now going to be back in the lineup. But look, this happens every year at this tournament. There's always 1 or 2 teams that are a disappointment in some form or way. Unfortunately, because of health reasons, this is happening. But I think yesterday was a much better day. There were good games. Finland needed 3 power play goals to scrape out a 4-1 win. The game last night I thought was outstanding in terms of it was great to see Slovakia push Canada to its limits, even though it's early. But I think the best thing was the best game of the tournament so far. Obviously, was the Czechs and the Russians, and I thought that was fantastic. It goes to show that in a shortened tournament, kids put their bodies on the line like they did, especially the Czech kids yesterday, blocking shots, making plays, taking hits to make plays. I thought they pushed Russia. When Russia pushed, they pushed back, and I thought it bode well for the tournament. It's going to make it exciting because you look at Group B and so many teams at 1-on-1, and now you look at Group A and Canada's got to say, okay, now we got to start pushing the envelope ourselves. And it was good to see them get tested yesterday because, look, they need it, and they're a good group. The only way they're going to come together even better structurally as a group with their way they play and where they want to play is they need to get pushed. And I thought that was a good push from an opposition team yesterday.
Well, we'll talk about Group A in a second, but Group B, you mentioned it. Every team's got to win except Austria, but that's Sweden, USA, Russia, and the Czechs. Top 4 are going to move on. Who's the best team in Group B?
Well, if you ask each one of them, they're all going to say they are. There's no doubt about that. And quite frankly, I think it is up in the air right now. I think the most talented team for sure is Russia. I think it's the Yuri Lariano factor with this group. I just think that he's got kids buying in. They'll find ways to score goals. I'll be floored if they don't, and so will the rest of the world. But I just think that there's too much with that group from the goaltending right on out. I think right now it looks like to me the weakest spot of their team, believe it or not, is the Askarov. He makes you nervous on a lot of pucks he's fighting pucks and he's taking chances coming out of the net and playing pucks. But I think the biggest thing right now is I think that group will settle in. I think the Americans, to me, they lost some important players right the last day or so before coming to Edmonton with COVID situations. I'm a little bit disappointed in the American team, quite frankly. I thought there would be more there. I think 1 through 12, 1 through 13 up front, they're not as deep as you think they might or usually would be. I see a lot of room to grow in that group for sure. So I think that right now, if you were to ask who I thought was the strongest team at this point, I would still say Russia, Rod.
Yeah, well, I think Askarov will be heard from before this is over. I saw your guy Chinikov scored the other night, the guy that nobody could find on their charts draft night. He's been okay. Hey?
He's been good. He started a little slowly. I think it's like some of these Russian kids that have never played in North America before. It's getting used to the smaller ice surface. And when they realize that they're pretty good players and they can do some really special things with the puck and read plays and have vision and be able to move to make things happen, I think he's really starting to realize that. And I thought he was, again, pretty good last night, even though he didn't get a couple or three grade A chances like he seemed to have in the earlier games. But look, I think this kid is a bit of an unheralded kid, and I think playing in underneath Igor Larionov will really help his game.
That's pretty exciting for Columbus moving forward, and I hope he is the diamond in the rough. Steal of the draft, it's appearing now. By the way, Austria, Sweden today at 5 o'clock, followed by Slovakia, Germany. Germany's going to get some guys back. Hey, I got to ask you your take on the route 16-2. The Germans never quit. What was your take on both teams' performance in that game?
Well, I started to see some habits creep in that usually happens with young players as the game went on that Canada probably did not like. They're not going to tell the world that. But internally, I can guarantee you that they probably didn't want to see a 16-2 win. But these things happen, and I thought that there were some effects of it in the game last night. I didn't think they started extremely well. I saw some, I wouldn't call them lackadaisical mistakes, but mistakes that were made in the game that when you know you're getting pushed by a good opposition or a good opponent, that you're going to be a little bit crisper with your plays, with your timing, with your mental decisions defending and also attacking. And I thought that there were times last night I thought there were some side effects from the game previous versus the Germans that probably disrupted their group and stalled them a little bit. But like I said, I think the way Slovakia did push them, especially in the third period, it will bode well going forward. So I think that they've just got to find a way, and they got a day to regroup and get going again.
Richie, are you with me that Canadians are picking apart this team a little too much? Not you, because you're an analyst, but the fans. Like, they're really hard on Team Canada right now that they're not perfect. And my take is that they need to be perfect next week. If they're not, tear them apart. But right now, they're still learning a few lessons. I mean, where are you on that concept, that they don't need to be perfect right now? Plus, they're missing some guys over the weekend.
Well, I think Braden Schneider brings a real element to their back end, and that will settle them down, I think, from a physical side, because it gives them a little bit of a reputation where if you know this player well enough, like the opposition should know, there's got to be a little bit of respect factor that, yeah, you look at their back end and you look at the Byrams and the Drysdales and the Harleys and the Goolies. There's some guys here, Jordan Spence, that is came in and made an impact last night. You look at this back end and go, look, there's a mobile defense here. There's a defense that can really get up and down the ice well. They can take some chances. They can recover well. But there's also a couple guys back there like a Braden Schneider that can keep someone honest once in a while with a big hit that can turn the game maybe on a dime from a physical side. I do see a group that is going to come together. Like you said, the games are important now, but they're not the be-all and end-all. You're going to get into the qualifying, but the biggest thing is, look, Rod, it's one and done. So once you get into that area of the tournament, so you have to start getting your game going every day on a daily basis to a spot where you hope when it counts the most, that it's going to matter the most, and you've got enough to make it work.
Well, I feel like I'm, to use my brother's term, barking up a dead horse's ass, because they're not to say let the coaches coach. They're not going to do that. They're like Rider fans. You get it, right? Any more on the World Juniors before we move on to the NHL or go back to the NHL?
Well, the biggest thing that really intrigues me when you watch tournaments like this, if you're not able to attend them, is look, every team. It's easy to pick out the top picks and the supposed best players that are supposed to be the best players. But to me, the thing that I really enjoy is to see other players step up, players that are not first-round picks. And sometimes when you got a team, a whole bunch of first-round picks, that doesn't work either. Let's be honest. It's happened in the past. Let's hope it doesn't happen this year. But the biggest thing is, for me, it's about finding some diamonds in the rough. I mean, look, there's 4th and 5th round picks and 7th round picks in other countries that I think are going to be top players that I love. I can use 2 guys as an example. Parsonen, the big number 27 with Finland. Adam Raska, who played in Rimouski this past year with the Czech Republic. Look, these guys are diamonds in the rough, and I think that, yeah, they're not going to be top NHL players, but they're going to be difference makers that are going to help teams win or be better teams just because how they play their games and what they bring every day. And these are the kind of players that they're up to me, that I need to get to know them better and know who they are, because they would look good in red and blue, I'll tell you that.
Gotcha. Hey, and the Finland-Canada game, New Year's Eve, really looms large. Neither team has lost yet. Last question. Again, we mentioned it earlier. We kind of skimmed over as a nation that Canada is approving the 7 NHL teams playing in their home cities in Canada. We believe. I didn't even read the story. Did you, Darren? You did?
Well, I skimmed over it for sure.
Yes, well, I didn't dissect it, I guess, that closely.
No one's gone that deep on it.
Yeah, what do you know about Canada playing in our 7 markets here beginning January 13th?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Rod, I get information from the group, from our team, which has been great. And if you read between the lines on a lot of the protocols and how things are going to be done, the NHL is a smart project, and how they go about doing their things and the protocols that they're trying to put in place. The regulations and protocols, whatever you're going to say, it has been brought forward to every group, from coaches, staff, players, even to a degree, how the players are to go home and relay some of these things out to their families and their loved ones. Look, this is a tight situation in terms of there's rules, there's regulations, and you are going to need to buy into them. And I think we have a unique group of athletes and people that run these hockey clubs, that coach these hockey clubs, that think things a little bit differently in terms of what you have to do to be successful, individually and collectively as a group. And I think they're smart enough to realize that you're not to fool around with walking the line or getting on the other side of the line to think how it is, because it's going to hurt your group if you do so. I think we have enough smart people that know very well, not just from the NHL office standpoint, but from individual teams, that they know how tenuous the situation is, how hard it's going to have to be to toe the line. I really see this happening. I really see this group as an NHL doing the right things. Too much is at stake. They've put themselves out on the plank here to walk, to do the right things, and to know to do them and stay in line, because you're going to have to answer in a big way if you don't, and it's going to be answering in a quick way. So I think that we've got this figured out. Let's get through the first week or two, and hopefully there's no issues. And I think if you do, I think if the NFL can figure it out after week 8 or 9, and some teams still can't, I really believe the NHL can learn from it, and we'll figure it out, and we'll do it quite well.
Awesome. Can't wait. Rich, this has been outstanding. Thank you so much. We'll chat with you down the road here sooner than later.
Yes, and let's hope that our country, our team, our kids come along and get this figured out and keep it going.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, Richie. Happy holidays.
You too. Take care.
Our NHL and World Juniors insider, Rich Sutter, joining us from Lethbridge, Alberta. We're going to take a time out and come back with a sports update and then more of us and you. We got a good discussion going this morning, if you've noticed.
Yeah. Back
and forth with the viewers. It's the RP Show. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues after this break. You're watching on Facebook Live, Game Plus Television, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
You need to adapt and you need to move forward. You can't be stuck in 1920. Direct West is on the top of their game. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when you work with Direct West, things are good. There's no going backwards, they're moving forward. My business would not be where it is today without the help of Direct West to help me with my website and my Facebook and all my online presence. I've worked with Direct West for about 10 years, and it's been a great experience.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Updating and improving your air conditioning system does not need to be difficult. You can breathe easy with our 100% satisfaction guarantee, flexible financing options, and maintenance programs. We will be with you throughout the process from start to finish. Contact us today so we can help you breathe a little easier. 306-781-2090.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. I was remiss in saying that Rich Sutter's appearance is brought to you by Original 16 Beer by Great Western Breweries. I'm going to go to the sports update and skip the World Juniors because I think we all know Canada's 2-0. Devontae Adams caught 3 of Aaron Rodgers' 4 touchdown passes as the Green Bay Packers trounced the Tennessee Titans 40-14 for their 5th consecutive victory on a snowy evening at Lambeau Field. Our NFL insider, Tori Gurley, played lots of games on the frozen tundra at Lambeau. He'll be with us in hour 2 to answer our and your questions on Week 16 in the NFL. The New York Jets pulled off their second stunner in as many weeks by holding off the Cleveland Browns 23-20. Break up the Jets!
I know.
Cleveland will have to try again to clinch a playoff spot. Canada's Steve Nash has his first loss as an NBA head coach. Gordon Hayward had 28 points, and the Charlotte Hornets handed the Brooklyn Nets their first defeat of the season, 106-104. Tom Thibodeau's first victory as Knicks coach came surprisingly easy against a top opponent as New York routed the Milwaukee Bucks 130-110. Andre Drummond scored 24 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, and made 3 steals as the Cavaliers won their 3rd straight. 118-94 over the Philadelphia 76ers. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. They can handle all your food and fun needs. Visit their website at ballersrecroom.com or follow their social media. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Feels like it's been a month since we've been in here, now that I think about it.
I know, doesn't it?
I had a Red Bull last week, and once again, I flew to Moose Jaw. I am not wary of Red Bull, but I save it for special occasions.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good occasion to have one last week. But
just because it was a long day.
Right.
Not a bad day,
exactly.
but a long day.
It's better than being immune to it. Like you can just drink 6 of these and be like, I don't feel a thing, where you're constantly up here.
Yeah.
But
I just want to bring some more greetings from viewers. Bruno Kempen, watching in Hinton, Alberta, says, Happy New Year to you and the Moose and crew. Moose DuPont, that nickname came up late here in 2020, making a late run at Nickname of the Year. Hey, got in there.
Yeah.
Just under the wire.
Just in.
Donna Berger, watching in Central Butte, says, Good morning. David Ice in Winnipeg says, Made it. Whew. Well, we're not going anywhere, David, so we're always going to be here. But glad you made it. We're glad that you made it, too. Anything you folks want to talk about today, fire it up in the comments section. Coffee's hot. We're talking sports this morning. I'm going through my phones here. I had to get Darren to run out. Holy smokes, is there a million text messages here? I just turned it on. 306-840-8777. is the Prairie Mobile text line. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Jeff in Saskatoon says, happy holidays. Things need to change in 2021. Perhaps Darren starts wearing socks. Probably not.
I think that's one of the things that won't change in 2021. Some things do need to change, but that's probably not going to be on the list. Sorry, Jeff.
Jeff Hayes is the public address announcer of the Saskatoon Blades. Larry Dye says, I wish my Vikings in the NFC East. That's the direct quote. I wish my Vikings in the NFC East. He wishes they were in that trampy division where my Dallas Cowboys reside. Well, I wish a lot of things too, Larry. Doesn't make it so. Yeah. Stephen, watching in North Dakota, says, Merry New Year. Definition, normal is a drier setting. Let's hope 2021 is better. And he goes on to say, would the Winnipeg Jets play at the Ralph Engelstad Arena at UND Grand Forks? Close proximity and great facilities. Well, let's talk about that for a second. And thank you, Stephen, in North Dakota, for checking in and directing our discussion here. I didn't read the TSN article, okay? I was inundated with things to read, and that's not one of the things that I read. What was Draeger saying about the Canadian teams playing in their markets?
Yeah, that they've kind of agreed in principle. It's not officially agreed upon, I don't believe, but around all 7 markets, but it's agreed in principle. There's the framework's all there. And as Rich mentioned, too, they've got the safety protocols kind of in place to the point where each of the provincial governments feels comfortable in getting the NHL season underway and keeping the teams in Canada. I think Ontario was one. There was a couple provinces that weren't into it. It's not just the government of Canada saying go ahead and play. Each provincial government has to sign off on it, and their top health doctors. But the other side of it too is there, in the schedule for the NHL is a lot of baseball style series.
Yeah.
Where a team can go into Vancouver and play 3 games, not travel around and bounce in and out, but stay there for a bit, and then go and make sure you're going to Edmonton or Calgary and stay there for 3-4 days or 5 days, and then go somewhere else. So that's kind of where they're coming at it from another way to keep things safe.
Folks, I will try to get to as many of your questions as we can, but that was an awesome question by Stephen in North Dakota about where these teams are going to go. And thank you for saying that it's not official yet. And we're going to have to come back on the other side, and because we're up against it time-wise here. But the Jug in Saskatoon says, now will the NHL lift the blackouts? Boom, and it just slipped off the screen. Basically, there it is. Now will the NHL lift the blackouts for the season? Because if there's no fans, then what's the point of blackouts? Man, you folks are sharp this morning. You're on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I would think it would be a nice Christmas present for all of us hockey fans, not just Canadians, to lift the blackouts regionally in the National Hockey League. I could see them doing that. It's more viewers. No?
No. Sorry.
Why?
Money. I'm in the business, so I understand it, and I get it. And the best way I could say is the national the national broadcasters,
Yeah.
Sportsnet, Rogers, they paid money for the national rights. They're not just going to let TSN's regional broadcast of the Leafs be broadcast across Canada because that's what Sportsnet paid for.
Stop the presses! We got a face-off. Let her roll, Clark, for Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek Restaurant, because I think they have to lift the blackouts. Sorry to interrupt you. Continue.
No, but that's what Sportsnet paid for. We paid for the rights for the national broadcast, which means we paid to not have TSN air them across Canada. TSN can pay for the regional rights, and they negotiate those to air them in the Ontario or the Maple Leafs region or the Senators region, or we get the Flames region. And that's why, people complain about TSN's got 5 damn channels and we can't watch this game. Why is it even on? Well, no, you actually paid to watch TSN Montreal, TSN Winnipeg, TSN,
in normal time.
TSN 1 and TSN 2 are the only real national networks. The other ones are all regional networks that we give you the opportunity to watch. When there's programming that they have paid and allowed you to broadcast nationally. But we're in the Jets region, the Oilers and the Flames region, so we can get those. But that's what Sportsnet paid $50+ billion or whatever they paid.
$5.2 billion.
$5.2 billion so that TSN could not broadcast nationally. Now, They may sell some of those national rights back to TSN, but they're not just, the NHL can't flip a switch and all of a sudden say, you guys can just broadcast your games.
Wayne in Victoria says, I'm on Rod's side. There you go.
If it's an opinion, I'm on your side too. I want more games on TV.
John in Winnipeg says, lift the blackout, NHL. They won't, though. You will have to buy center ice TV package. John Ohm in Winnipeg. I'm saying, come on, NHL, have a heart. It's the holiday season. Lift the blackouts for 2020, 2021. This Scrooge says no. But I get it.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with Viewer Takeover. Hang on. It's the RP Show Monday morning get-together. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues after this on Facebook Live, Game Plus TV, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
It's year-end clearance at Capital GMC. The Capital Auto Group is giving away $50K. That's a $10,000 cash prize at each Capital store in Western Canada. Get the hottest deals on all new and used vehicles, the highest trade-in values of the year, and savings up to $20,000. Oh yeah, and did we mention you can enter to win cold, hard cash? All this and more during Capital's year-end clearance. Check out capitalgmc.ca.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody, as we move into the Viewer Takeover show and our segment of the show. The comments are going nuts. Ugh. I'm trying to get to them all. Glenn Erickson's watching in Alberta, Red Deer, I believe. He says, is this the year Team Sweden finally loses a round-robin game at the World Jays? 53 in a row. They're in a tough group.
Yeah, if there was a year it was going to happen,
this would be it.
It'd be this year.
David in Winnipeg says the Canadian TV package should include all Canadian games at one low price. Kent Ridley's watching in Nashville. I'm sorry, this is Machine Gun. Would you mind putting up the comment from Kent Ridley? I'm sorry, from Ridley Scouting. He's a football guy, but he's a Canadian living in... Oh, it was up and then gone. He's a Canadian living in Nashville. Canadians plus holidays plus no local hockey tournaments equals active comment section. Oh, I know. But I hope we'll roll that over into 2021. That'll be busy. Forget the fact that it's Christmas holidays. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says it's too bad the Max tournament isn't on right now. Add it, Jeff, to a very long list of things that sucks that aren't on right now. As we said way back in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, that all the World Juniors is doing to me is making me miss junior hockey. That's all that it's doing at the club level, as they say. Larry Dye says, what regional NFL team does Saskatchewan get? If it's Minnesota, I'm moving to Regina. What regional team of the NFL does Saskatchewan get? What does that mean? What's our region? We don't have a region.
We don't have
one.
But based on up here, it's Green Bay, it's Seattle, Dallas.
Mostly Seattle.
Chicago, New England. Those are the teams.
Okay, thank you for deciphering that. I'm a little slow. Well, it's not Dallas because they weren't on yesterday.
No, but usually the Cowboys games are always on.
Because they're usually playing in prime time.
That's the idea.
I get the damn Seahawks every week. I don't want to watch the Seahawks.
Go into any of the sporting goods stores, and the goods you see most of around here are the teams you mostly see on TV. It usually correlates. That's why there's no Titans gear in any of those stores.
There's no Titans gear anywhere.
Jaguars gear.
Sorry, Kenton, Nashville.
You go down there, you find it.
I feel like as we move into hour 2, we're going to be coming in hot. Because Clark's telling me we got less than a minute here in hour 1, so we'll roll this over into hour 2 because the Vegas Golden Knights are hot, hot, hot. There's more Vegas Golden Knights gear on sale here in the Rectangle than any other NHL team. Change my mind. I think they're Saskatchewan's NHL team.
Yeah, I do too.
Listen. Hold on to your comments. Join us on Game Plus TV for hour 2 or stay right here on Facebook Live. We got Tori Gurley coming up, more viewer comments. Just a heck of a lot of fun. It's the RP Show. We're rolling it on episode 384, Canada's daytime sports talk show. After this, I can sniff controversy. I can smell it.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Now,
he said, good morning from Phoenix, Arizona, where it will hit 90 degrees today. Listen, Tom, be very grateful that you are the age that you are and you have the ability to be in Phoenix, because quite frankly, it's all I can think about right now.
How about that?
Do you know how many snowbirds are stuck up here right now for whatever reason, not being able to get out of Canada into the warm locales?
November's like the worst month to be stuck here.
Yep.
At least by January, February, you're used to it.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Good morning, Canada. Good afternoon to our friends in Eastern Canada. We're back on the air. Where's my bell? We're live.
Hey.
We are live. Hey. After a week of best of shows, it is 12 p.m. Eastern on Monday, December the 28th. And we're coming to you from the bunker out here in Western Canada. RP here, the host of the show, Darren Moose DuPont over there, and we're ready to talk sports on Game Plus TV for the next 60 minutes. But it is hour 2 of our program. We've been cooking with gas in hour 1 on Facebook Live and rodpeterson.com/listen live. And we covered so many topics. Listen, the rest of you are just going to get caught up here. This is what I feel like is going to happen here. Yeah. We did have our NHL and World Juniors analyst Rich Sutter with us. We've been talking about the opening 3 days of the World Junior Hockey Championship. And coming up this hour, what's hot? The National Football League, of course. And some CFL offerings as well. So we'll be joined by Tori Gurley, our NFL analyst, former Green Bay Packer, Cleveland Brown, and Toronto Argonauts. So that's setting the table, but let's please go to the Quick Six Show topics. Director Jordan, please, and thank you. Number 1, Canada is 2-0 at the World Junior Hockey Championship. And if you surf social media even a little bit over the last 24 to 48 hours, everybody had an opinion on Canada's game. They beat Germany 16-2 on Saturday, a German team that was missing 9 players, and I will admit, it should have been more. Canada didn't lay off. I don't think they should have laid off. I think it should have been more than 16-2. 2 off a record for Team Canada. And then on Sunday, they beat Slovakia 3-1, and a lot of Canadian hockey fans are upset. It wasn't by enough! So my point to Rich Sutter last hour is what I'll say to you now. Can you please just let the coaches coach the team? Am I wasting my breath, Moose, by saying that?
Of course you are. But you know you are.
I know I am.
You know you are. That's always tough. If it's not 6-1 or 5-1, it's 5, 6, 7-1. I think that's the sweet spot. Then they screwed it up, right?
That's the sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot. Yeah. 5, 6, 7-1. But what do you do? Like, if Canada just started skating circles, playing keep away for 20 minutes, be happy. That would look bad too. That'd look worse, right? Purposely not taking any shots on goal, that would look worse. So, I mean,
you got to pour it on.
You got to pour it on. And Germany was dealing with their adversity. The guys that were out with COVID, and they're going to be a different team when they get those guys back, and they hopefully get a berth in the quarterfinal if they can get there.
I love this. I love it. I want to say hi to everybody watching in Winnipeg, one of our favorite cities and one of our top cities for viewership. David Ice writes in and he says, Tori Gurley, a Blue Bomber for 2 games. LOL. They'll take him.
And
here's the thing about Tori, for those that don't know, I'm sorry, but yeah. Tori said, he's like, look, I played for so many teams. Wikipedia him. He could wallpaper a 20,000 square foot house with his jerseys. So he's like, just say the Packers, the Browns, and the Argos. That's where I spent the most of my time.
Yeah, those are the big ones. On the Winnipeg thing, we were walking through the store. We did go out on Boxing Day and try later, right? And her mom was in the store, and she sent me a photo that she bought us a Winnipeg Jets ornament for our Christmas tree next year, because she's like, you have so many people watching in Winnipeg that you need something Winnipeg on the tree. So we've got a Winnipeg Jets ornament now for our tree next year.
One of our viewers pointed out that this space here where the Christmas tree was is far too bare. And I walked in here this morning and I was, where's the tree?
I know.
Do you think now that maybe you jumped the gun?
Maybe. We kept the poinsettias and some of the other, holiday decorations.
The
here
tree's
for the World
gone.
Juniors, but the tree's gone. I thought about keeping it up to the end of the World Juniors, but then I...
To point two, was the Connor McMichael move a hot dog move last night? And for those that didn't see it, our big voice guy, Rick Regan, the guy that says, how about that? The Rod Pedersen Show. Rick says, you need to air highlights in your show. And I'm like, nah, we're not a highlight show. We're not Sports Center. We're the View for sports fans. Today's a day that I wish we could air the highlights of Connor McDagle. Why do I keep saying McDagle? But they might call him McDangle.
McDangle, yeah.
He comes down the left wing and then puts his stick between his legs and tries to score on the Slovakian goalie and doesn't. 20 years ago, he'd have been drawn and quartered and shot at 40 paces for trying to move like that. It's not 1997 anymore. So we put it to the viewers. Do you think that hot dog move was inappropriate? The wording is, do you have a problem with Connor McMichael's between the legs attempt? And it hasn't changed from an hour ago. 77% of you say, no, that's fine. And it's about the same on Twitter. And I laugh at how the world's changed of hockey fans, where is hot dogging acceptable now? Or as producer Clark said, the guys practice it so much, it's just as natural to them as any other move. Like when Merrick Malik did it, there's a reason they're still showing it in highlights 20-some years later.
Right.
That was rare then.
That was the first. And it was in a shootout, and he did it to win the game. It was unbelievable. Now the guys do it, and you notice, he got a great shot off. It just hit the goaltender in the shoulder, and it's hard for goaltenders because you're moving this way, and all of a sudden, somehow the stick and puck are back there as the goaltender's trying to follow you. They do practice it enough that it's a high percentage play, and I think it's good now.
Of the 297 comments that John Kirby in Edmonton has written in with today, here's the funniest. COVID has changed people, Rod. Has it ever? It's like, it's not that big a deal. Nobody died. Nobody lost their business. He just went between his legs on a breakaway. Good one, John. Point 3, Week 16 NFL notes. That's why I'm wearing this Dallas Cowboys pullover today. I was waiting for just the right occasion. It was sent to me as a Christmas gift from one of our P1s, viewer Jamie Anstey in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. He's the equipment manager of the Cole Harbour Colts Junior Hockey Club. He asked how it fit. It's like I pulled this thing right off the rack. Hey?
Yeah, like a glove.
Fits like a glove. And the Cowboys won. They smacked around the Philadelphia Eagles, and they still have a chance to win the division. Only in the NFC East can you be in the hunt for the division lead and the top 4 playoff spot. In Week 17.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Unbelievable.
It's wrong. It's another 2020 situation there. Browns lost to the Jets. Your Titans got... Let's put it this way. The Packers had their way with them in Lambeau. For a minute to speak on your team, the Titans, are you concerned?
No. I've always been concerned about the defense, though. And I knew that this would happen, that Aaron Rodgers would have their way with the defense. And Tennessee, they never had the ball all game. They never had the football. And at one point, because of the changeover at half, they got points on the board at both sides, end of the first half, start of the second half, and it was 19-14. But, Aaron Rodgers just couldn't get him off the field. Man, he is the MVP in the National Football League.
He's in his zone.
I tweeted that last night. First in his touchdowns to interceptions, quarterback rating. I know Patrick Mahomes has the yards in his Patrick Mahomes, but Aaron Rodgers is the MVP.
I could talk about this all day, but we do need to move on. Point 4, Monday Night Football, Bills-Patriots tonight at 7:20 Central. The Bills have already clinched the division lead. The Patriots have already been eliminated. All this is tonight is for the Patriots to be used as a piñata, as a tackling dummy by the Bills. They are literally going to take out 20 years of frustrations on the New England Patriots tonight. So if you hate Bill Belichick, and I'm not a fan, you're going to want to tune in tonight to TSN or ESPN for our American viewers. Monday Night Football, payback time. Do you think they'll open up the broadcast with that?
It's a montage of all the beatdowns from Tom Brady on the Bills and all the losses and the scoreboards. And then it'll be, the Bills rising from the ashes to just come back and take out the frustrations. It's going to be fun. The Bills are also, trying to keep rolling, heading towards the playoffs. They're, one of, if not the top team right now in the National Football League. This is a chance to make sure you kind of get ready on a winning note, because I think they're going to maybe rest a little bit next week.
Can you guys put the comment up from Ian Bodnarick regarding the McMichael move? And there it is. If he had scored, no problem. It's no different than if he took a slapper from 30 feet. Miss, and the critics have something to talk about. I feel it's different because he was hot dogging it. Like he was. I don't have a problem with it. I guess my answer is a morph of the two answers. But a slap shot from 30 feet out would just be stupid. Why would you do? Guys have done that. Or from the top of the circles. Yeah. And you're like, what are you doing? You're not going to beat the goalie from there. Why would you? This is different. This is hot dogging, which I incidentally don't have a problem with. Never have, however. From Jamie in Nova Scotia, he says, the offside hockey people salute you, Rod, from Eastern Canada. And I say the same to you. There it is. The offside team here on the east side of Canada salute you, Rod. Same to you, Jamie. I can't wait to get out to the Maritimes, and I'm taking you with me.
Can't wait.
And my wife. And your better half.
All right.
Point 5 is the NHL to play in Canadian cities. This really slid under the radar, and I don't think that TSN meant to do it. Darren Dreger's report came out on Christmas Eve. I think it was Christmas Eve. Whenever we were distracted last week, that did he not say the 7 NHL teams in Canada got approval to playing in Canada? Was that not the headline?
That was kind of what they alluded to anyways in the headline.
And then but I didn't read the article.
Right. And, I mean, yes, they got approved. No, it's not, papers signed and absolutely official, but we might as well say it is. I mean, there was roadblocks. The provincial governments all have to sign off, and it sounds like they're all in agreement now, that the provincial governments are all pretty okay on paper, on the surface, with what the NHL's plan is in terms of keeping, the players and the communities they're entering safe, how they're going to travel in, out, hotels, all of that, and how they're going to be able to control their environments. And then we talked about the baseball-style series where they'll play 3 or 4 games where they can stay, 3, 4, 5 days in Vancouver before they move to the next city, just to try and keep that contact tracing limited as possible. And again, while it's not maybe absolutely officially approved, it's great news, and it sounds like they're going to move forward.
Okay.
If it makes sense.
Yeah, I got to go back. Thank God you read it. I just saw the headline, and it basically Canadian teams approved to play in Canada. That's what I took out of it.
Yeah.
But then I didn't hear much about it for the next several days because the World Juniors have sucked up all the headlines in this country. So, this is pretty big news. Yet we didn't hear much about it.
I know. It is. And especially now because those teams need to start training camp. So to get the approval to open training camp, is a good place to start, and that's going to lead to them, being on board to play the games in Canada.
Point 6 of the Quick 6 show topics, some Canadian Football League news, if you will. We're fairly closely watching what's going on in the Canadian Football League. I don't know if they're going to play in 2021 or not. I'm, like you, hope that they do. The crowd thing is an issue because the other leagues are playing without crowds. And that's in America. Nobody's playing in Canada right now unless you're in a bubble. That's the way that it is.
Yeah.
The NHL is going to break that mold, and the CFL is hoping to. They're signing guys and redoing guys like it's going to be business as usual in 2021. And does anybody expect that it's going to be business as usual? Even when people say that everybody could have a shot in their arm by the end of April in Canada. That is best case scenario, and I don't like to morph news in sports. I loathe it. There's a few things I want to do less than morph news and sports. But Dr. Anthony Fauci, America's top doctor, disease specialist, did say on Meet the Press on Sunday, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The worst is still yet to come. Again, that was the headline that came out of the interview. I guess I should have watched the whole interview. But the fear hasn't gone away. So having said all of that, and maybe you have some thoughts on that, the CFL is acting as though it will be business as usual in 2021. We broke the story that Cody Fajardo's done a new deal. The BC Lions announced themselves that Mike Riley's got a new deal. The Alouettes announced that Vernon Adams Jr. has a new deal. And then on Saturday, the Edmonton Football Club announced that Trevor Harris has a new deal. And I'm very interested to talk to Tori Gurley about that in our next segment because he was teammates with Trevor Harris in Argoland, and they're big fans. And my question to you is, can you envision the Edmonton Football Club, here's hoping they have a name by the time they kick off, could you see them winning a Grey Cup with Trevor Harris? And I really can. I'm a huge believer in their head coach, Scott Milanovich. I think their general manager, Brock Sunderland, has a lot to prove still, but he's on the right track. I think we can all agree with that. Signed some good guys. I think they got a good team in Edmonton. And I think Trevor Harris could win a Grey Cup with the green and gold.
Yeah, I mean, he's a top-tier quarterback in the Canadian Football League. He's one of the most accurate passers in CFL history, and it's just about getting over the hump, right? And sometimes he's had a little issues in the big games, but he's done everything right. And they're starting to build the pieces to win a championship. They're coming on. They're on the right track, and you have to have a good quarterback to get you there. Trevor Harris is one of them. I think he can do it. I think he can lead Edmonton to a championship too.
I'm going through the Prairie Mobile text line. There are a lot of messages here, as I told you.
Yeah, I saw.
That must mean that we're getting a lot more popular.
That would be the case.
We love our Manitoba friends. Chuck from the Peg writes in and says, you have a size 36 inseam? You're either very tall or very high-waisted. Happy holidays, go blue, go Jets. Chuck from the Peg. What were we saying about Winnipeg? We got a lot of viewers in Winnipeg. We need to talk more Jets. But I am a big guy, and if you watch my Instagram story, did you see the photo of me and Drew Remenda from 1 year ago? He looks like a little Smurf.
I know.
I don't know if that's still up on my Instagram
but
story.
You're 6'4". You make a lot of people look like a little Smurf.
Yeah. Actually, my wife was going through some photos on her phone yesterday.
Oh.
Well, that's what?
The New York video? Of you in the flash mob? Oh, man. That was pretty funny stuff.
You better hurry, folks, because it's about to run out. On my Instagram story, at Rod Pedersen Official, was me getting caught up in a New York City flash mob in Central Park, and I literally did it. I danced with a flash mob. I didn't have a choice. They you're in this.
And you can see the moment where you look over and you notice she's recording, and you're like, oh, boy. And then you kind of it's like, I can't back out now. And I had never seen the footage of that. Is that the first time it's been published?
I've published it at the time.
Okay, I must have missed it.
Well, it's hilarious. I know we got to get... How much time we got, Clark? Okay, we got to go real fast here, and then Tori Gurley is loaded up and ready to go. But I only had one day of the Christmas vacation where I could put my feet up and do nothing, and it was yesterday. So I was on the couch watching NFL. Sydney was in the lazy boy. You've been in our living room, and she's just going through her old photos, and she's deleting old stuff.
Yeah.
So she found that video of me dancing in the flash mob in Central Park in New York in 2016, and she sent it to me. But she also found photos of you and I from when the Rough Riders practiced in Humboldt.
Oh, wow.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So she's like, should I delete these or get rid of them? I'm like, no, save them. That was a great day.
That was
when
great,
the Rough
too.
Riders went out to practice in Humboldt, and you and I did the television show out there.
That's right.
Remember that?
I do.
She's got all that stuff.
Wow.
She's got more photos than I do. Oh, Rod Monroe watching, Clark's dad. He says, great moves, Rod, for a boy from Milestone. John Ohm in Winnipeg's watching. That NYC video is awesome, Rod. Oh, it got a lot of reaction. A big, tall, white guy like me getting down with the New York people.
Oh, yeah.
It was wild. Tori Gurley's in next. We got a lot to get to today, so hang on. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, Facebook Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Updating and improving your air conditioning system does not need to be difficult. You can breathe easy with our 100% satisfaction guarantee, flexible financing options, and maintenance programs. We will be with you throughout the process from start to finish. Contact us today so we can help you breathe a little easier. 306-781-2090.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
It's year-end clearance at Capital GMC. The Capital Auto Group is giving away $50K. That's a $10,000 cash prize at each Capital store in Western Canada. Get the hottest deals on all new and used vehicles, the highest trade-in values of the year, and savings up to $20,000. Oh yeah, and did we mention you can enter to win cold, hard cash? All this and more during Capital's year-end clearance. Check out capitalgmc.ca. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back on this Monday morning, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. Got to put this out here. Wheaton Kia presents the Tori Gurley hits. And just before we get to Tori, we got breaking news today. The Montreal Canadiens have signed forward Corey Perry to a one-year deal. You know him from Dallas Stars and Anaheim Ducks fame. We analyzed it last hour with our NHL analyst, Rich Sutter. One-year deal, Corey Perry. Could be a good deal for both. And for those that have Montreal picked to be in the top couple teams in Canada this year, this will only help.
Yeah.
And plus, they lost Ilya Kovalchuk over the weekend. You saw that he signed in the KHL. All right, let's go to Tori Gurley now, our NFL insider. And I'm going to throw a CFL question at him first. First of all, happy holidays, Tori. Your guy, Trevor Harris, has redone his deal with the Edmonton Football Club, as you saw. And we were just discussing if Edmonton will win a Grey Cup in Trevor Harris's time. I emphatically say yes, they will. How do you feel about that question?
I'm biased, and of course, yes. Like Trevor Harris, this guy, he's partnering up with Scott Milanovic again. He's back in offense that he's very familiar with. We led the league and touchdowns, and this guy could get it done. I think Trevor's done an extremely great job over the past few seasons of establishing why he's one of the top players in the league. I know personally he even reached out to Tom Brady, did the TB12 method. He's applied that to his game, and this guy just looks for new ways to win. So I'm excited for Edmonton and for Trevor to go out there and accomplish another Grey Cup.
Like every quarterback, he has his detractors. I know there were some in Ottawa that felt they would never win with him, so that was part of the reason why they allowed him to walk in free agency and go to Edmonton. But I just don't see it. I've seen him on a continual trajectory upwards, really since he got the ball for the first time in Toronto on the way up. Are you seeing the same thing? Like, what? Everybody's going to have detractors, right? But are they right?
It's all about being comfortable. And I just think that I played in both offenses. I was there in Ottawa for a brief stint with him, but also was with him in Toronto. And I know with him being up under Scott Milanovic, they have a great rapport. I've been in those meetings, and I know how those guys, really collab when it comes to drawing up plays and finding matchups. So as long as they continue to put the right support staff around Trevor with weapons, I think they're going to be extremely hard to defend because, Trevor knows that offense inside and out. I mean, that's something that I helped get Trevor paid off that offense. So, Trev, go out there and go win the Grey Cup, man. You know what time it is.
Good, and I hope that it happens sooner than later. To the National Football League, Tori, what were your biggest performances and storylines coming out of Week 17?
Man, how about those
Week
Cowboys?
16, sir. Yeah, how about those Cowboys? Exactly. That's why I'm wearing it.
Cowboys got a big win. I'm also happy for the Jets. As I mentioned earlier, the Cleveland Browns is a team that scare me when it comes to moving forward because of Baker Mayfield. I am not all the way sold on him, and I'm not all the way sold on Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. I think they should win today, but I think in the playoffs, I think they're going to be a team that get knocked out in the first round because I've seen it in his eyes. Like, it takes a player to know a player, and I just know as well as he's playing in the regular season, I can definitely see him having a bad postseason when it matters because that's something he was not exposed to when he was in college. And he's going to have his growing pains like everyone else. So, that's why you can't get all wrapped up into, oh, man, this team is 10-5 or 11-5 or whatever, because that playoff football is totally different. And from what I saw last year when they played against the Houston Texans, you're not going to be able to grow that much over a year. It's going to take something that you consistently build on. And but they have the right offense, but I also don't believe in Buffalo's defense. I don't believe in Buffalo's defense, and I don't believe in Josh Allen as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's another team that I'm not high on. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts, I would leave those teams alone. Even though they might be shoe-in to be a playoff team, I can't trust them because Big Ben is so erratic as well as Phillip Rivers. So, that's the teams that I'm not high on. But the teams that I really like, obviously, are the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they're kind of struggling coming down the stretch, I just think they're bored. They've had a lot of success, and now they say it's playoff time, so they're going to rev it up. The Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, and performing at Lambeau Field, that's going to be a tough place to play. Imagine if you had 90,000 fans there that were screaming with the snow. But, as long as you have quarterbacks and teams that have that tradition of winning and that's been there time and time again, I think they're going to be okay.
Tori, the questions are coming in like crazy for you from our viewers, folks. So just hang on. The one I have for you is we do list you as a Bills and Packers and Browns alum, but you did spend time with the Bills. I think they are just going to curb stomp the Patriots tonight on Monday Night Football and take out 20 years of frustrations on what the Pats did to them. What do you expect tonight, Bills and Patriots, on Monday Night Football?
Yes, I believe so, too. I'm with you on that. I just think right now with the Patriots, they do not have the weapons to compete with Buffalo. And it's just I wish the fans could be there at Ralph Wilson Stadium. That would I swear I think that game would be a blowout. It would be like a 40-point or 50-point game if you could have, the fans screaming, "Let's go, Buffalo." But I think Sean McDermott has done a great job of preparing those guys for the regular season. And, some people, they're going to look at me like, man, how can you go against a team that paid the bills for you? Because they once paid the bills. They don't pay the bills anymore. As you taught me as an analyst, you got to be fair and honest. And that's just something I see. Like, as well as Buffalo is playing, I just don't think they have enough to be a Super Bowl caliber team because they're extremely young and they're just still learning.
We've got a lot of questions have come in on Dwayne Haskins from Todd Pinkney. Says, should Washington walk away from Haskins? Darren Thompson says Haskins is ruining his favorite football team. And for those that don't know, I'm reading here from ESPN. Washington quarterback Dwayne Haskins opened the day. Sunday as the starter with a chance to redeem himself. He exited with plenty of questions surrounding his future, calling the past week the toughest of his life. He was benched in the fourth quarter of Sunday's 2013 loss to the Carolina Panthers. Tori, as you know, he has broken COVID protocols on multiple occasions this year in Washington. He's a first-round pick in 2019. Are his days, in fact, done in Washington?
Yeah, the fat lady's singing. Unfortunately, this guy's made some bad decisions that's going to haunt him for the rest of his life. Everyone is going to remember him for that. Having a grand opportunity. You got Ron Rivera that beat cancer. You have Alex Smith that almost beat death. You know, this guy was laying on his deathbed with getting his leg operated on and potentially could have got it amputated. You know, it was a lot of stuff that's going on with this football team that shows that they have character and men of faith that try to do things the right way. But you are the one guy that's a quarterback that decides to go against the grain and act like an immature kid. And that really is just, it rubs everyone the wrong way. And as a teammate and as a former, I'm quite sure as a teammate, those guys are upset with him. But even as a former NFL player, I'm even more upset because he doesn't understand the privilege he has of being a professional athlete. Like, this guy's going to be out of the league and no one is going to want to touch him because just like his coach said in college, man, the guy's just immature. And you just can't have those type of people around because it can hurt you in many different ways and can be a cancer to a team. So, you know, I wish him well, but it wouldn't shock me when after this game is over with on Sunday that, you know, he's unemployed.
The Stampeders fans want to know your take on Alex Singleton with the Philadelphia Eagles. Have you been able to watch much of number 49 and the Eagles defense? What do you think?
They love him. I think that's a guy that they're going to hold on to, and he's making a name for himself in the National Football League. I'm so happy. You know, he was a dude that I remember playing against him in Calgary, and he talked a lot of trash, but he could play. Like, he showed up on a film, and I've always had respect for him. So to watch him go out and do it amongst the best players in the world, it lets you know, man, that guy's just special. And I think the Eagles are going to lock him up and give him a contract because they got to find a way to get rid of Carson Wentz. So whenever you have a player like Alex Singleton balling on a rookie contract, they're going to hold on to you, and I hope he gets to break the bank.
Viewers want to talk about the future at the quarterback position in Washington and other places. And that's an off-season thing because where's Carson Wentz going to end up? And does he go to Washington? And hey, do the Dallas Cowboys stick with the red rifle? And maybe we don't sign Dak Prescott next year. Who knows? I mean, as we know, Andy Dalton's from Katy, Texas, and he does fit in there like a glove. But I want to talk about this season first, because we still got the playoffs looming, Tori, and those Pittsburgh Steelers just turned a switch. I said to Moose Dupont here, it was like they were all reading their Twitter at halftime, the Steelers, how they were getting trounced, and they just came out and just flipped a switch. So what did that tell you about the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday? I don't trust them. A team that's started out undefeated, 10-0 or 11-0, and now they were down 21-3. Like, I was watching that game, and Big Ben and that offense, man, that's scary. Whenever you're depending on throwing the ball every play and you're not having your best defenders, Bud Dupree is out with the injury, and he's done for the year, so you only have to worry about T.J. Watt coming off the edge. It makes it difficult to play playoff or championship football. And Pittsburgh needs to find a way to get James Conner the ball or Benny Snell, where they're out there, they're controlling the clock. But just lining up in 4 wide or 5 wide and just spinning it around the entire game, that's a recipe for disaster. And they're going to play against a team in the playoffs that really just shuts them out because you just can't play. You can't win that way. Even the Kansas City Chiefs, for as many weapons as they have on offense, they don't throw as much as the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's scary. Here's a somewhat fun one. You saw J.J. Watt go off after the Texans lost their fourth in a row yesterday. You had to have seen it, Tori, right? His impassioned speech about how his teammates need to show some pride. And we got fans here spending their hard-earned money on this team. And, like, if I had a nickel for every guy that I've seen stand up and say that in a variety of leagues, I'm watching that saying, I would hope it's obvious to these players that the fans are pouring their hard-earned money into supporting the franchise. But maybe it's not. What I got out of J.J. Watt's monologue there, Tori, is that this is a team that is broken, and their culture is terrible. And they weren't just going to sweep it out with firing Bill O'Brien. Now, you can blame it on him, but he's gone now, right? What did you think about J.J. Watt's address?
All right. Initially, I loved it. You know, it's great that someone can address the team and be able to show compassion to fans that are out there supporting it. But if we wanted to dive into J.J. Watt, I'm quite sure we can pull up film of him doing the wrong things many times. Now, he's a great citizen off the field, but on the field, you know, I know plenty of people that played with J.J., and he's a selfish guy when it comes to playing his responsibility. And if you don't know the nuances or the details of football, you would think that, you know, this guy grades out extremely well every week, but it's not always that way. And, you know, so it goes both ways. So the way he addressed everyone by saying, hey, we want to go out and compete and play better and you know, give people something to look forward to because they're exhausting their money and their time into us. Let's make sure we repay them with wins. But, you know, if any, I guess, analyst or any reporter was there, if they wanted to counter that question, like, hey, JJ, what have you done on the field? Are you playing your assignment the right way? I'm quite sure everybody in the locker room would have been like, see, that's what we wanted to hear. So it goes both ways. But the way he addressed everyone, yeah, that is correct. But just make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do on the field because we all know, like, JJ, I can see between the lines. You know, I know what you're doing. And I've seen him do things on the football field where he left his teammate hanging out to dry because he's trying to get a sack.
Outstanding analysis, and that's the thing. It doesn't mean a lot if you're going to sit there at the mic and say these things when you don't have your bases covered, is kind of what you're saying. And lastly, because we only got 2 minutes here, but David in Winnipeg says, Tori, did the CFL make a mistake by not playing in 2020? What's your take on that?
I'm not going to say they made a mistake. I just wish they would have handled it differently, addressed everyone like, hey, we're going to not play this year, but to kind of have players in limbo, that makes it difficult for everyone because now you're in a situation where do you train? Because when you're training, you can't work. When you're working, you can't train. Like it's kind of hard to do both because you got to commit yourself to being a professional athlete. So I just wish it would have been communicated that they were going to postpone the season, and that would allow guys to find a way to make some money or earn a living and give them a heads up on preparing themselves for the following year.
Tori, this has been awesome. For our viewers, follow him on social media, tgurley81. I wish we had more time because there's a ton more questions. Maybe we can bring you back by the end of the week. But happy holidays, my friend, to yourself, all the Gurleys, and the Hubics. And you know what I'm talking about, man. Thanks for all you do.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
The great Tori Gurley joining us from Toronto today. We need to take a timeout. Larry Dye in Medicine Hat says, great interview, Rod. Wasn't me. It was Tori. Who sings that song? Wasn't me.
Shaggy.
Shaggy. Yeah. We'll be back with a sports update and viewer takeover. It's the RP Show. You're watching Canada's daytime sports talk show on Game Plus Television, Facebook Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com for Suds Car Wash.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
It's year-end clearance at Capital Ford Lincoln. The Capital Auto Group is giving away $50K. That's a $10,000 cash prize at each Capital store in Western Canada. Get the hottest deals on all new and used vehicles, the highest trade-in values of the year, and savings up to $20 grand. Oh yeah, and did we mention you can enter to win cold, hard cash? All this and more during Capital's year-end clearance. Check out CapitalFordLincoln.com.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, I don't mind getting into viewer takeover early. Paul Figler's watching in Red Deer, Alberta. You know Figgy?
Oh, yeah, we chatted last week.
From Dub Network, he says, thankful for a week off work. Get to tune into the show again. We're thankful to have you, Figgy.
Yeah.
Keep this music rolling. We haven't aired this music for a while.
Not often.
There's a couple of commercial spots. There's a mattress company in the States that uses this music.
I know.
People tell me every time that they hear the spot air, they think that it's our show's coming on.
That's branding.
Then they're disappointed.
I know. Well.
Because we're not.
Yeah.
Not in that instant. Roxanne from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions says, we love Alex Singleton being an Eagle. Got Darnell a Singleton jersey for Christmas. Sports update, Team Canada gets a day off from competition at the World Juniors in Edmonton following back-to-back victories to open the tourney. Sunday night, Canada beat Slovakia 3-1 to sit atop its group with Finland at 2-0. Canada back on the ice Tuesday against Switzerland. Mark Hoffman signed a professional tryout agreement with the St. Louis Blues Sunday night, a possible precursor to him getting a contract for the NHL season prior to opening night. Hoffman will go to training camp with the Blues, who will only have a salary cap space to sign him after putting fellow wingers Vladimir Tarasenko and Alex Steen on the long-term injured list. The Canadian Press Female of the Year will be announced today. Any idea whom that might be?
Ooh.
Tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
The winner of the Bobby Rosenfeld Award is based on a CP poll of writers, broadcasters, and editors across the country. Tennis star Bianca Andreescu took home the award last year. The Buffalo Bills look to put a stamp on the AFC East tonight with a season sweep of the New England Patriots. The Bills have a chance to be the first AFC East foe to sweep New England in a season since the Jets and Dolphins did it way back in 2000. This sports update for Wendell Clark's Classic Bar and Grill in Saskatoon, corner of Idlewild on Circle Drive. See you at Wendell's. For the Tap Brew House and Liquor Store, corner of Rochdale and Pasqua. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha, RP Show viewers get 20% off with a promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. And while we're doing sponsor love, we should mention that Tori Gurley's visits with us every week are brought to you by Wheaton Kia. You can find them in North Regina at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst. Zach in Calgary says, I'm thankful that I'm off school for the next 2 weeks so I can turn on the show. Brady in Saskatoon, who has both texted and written in to the Facebook live stream, says, I love this show. I'll be here for the next 2 weeks. Don't have to go back to school till the 11th. What a great feeling that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when if you didn't like school, which I didn't. And a lot of my teachers, it was mutual. Some loved me. Not all of them.
They loved the break as much as you did.
Exactly. From Todd Pinkney, where's my breaking news belt? He says the Washington football team has released Dwayne Haskins, their quarterback, as per Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. I'm just going to read Brady's text as well, because he's a super fan.
Yeah.
And we treat our fans well. Where'd it go? Hey, Rod. The Jets have finally started playing ball. My Seahawks clinched the Western Division yesterday, and I got a DK Metcalf jersey for Christmas.
Whoa.
Kirby Doc's injury was unfortunate, but I think Canada will be fine. It just would have been fun watching Kirby dominate. He's totally right. And you saw the photo of Kirby's wrist, I assume.
I did.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, it's in my Monday Morning Goalie column today. You think when you see Kirby Dach get hurt like that, all the fans are saying, see, that's why NHL teams don't want to send their players. Maybe. Or as one NHL insider said to me, no. The Rangers didn't want to send Alexis Lafreniere because they're run by Americans. The coach and GM are Americans, and they've never done Canada a favor. That's why they didn't send Alexis Lafreniere. You don't not send your guys to anything if you're afraid that they're going to get hurt. That's not a thing.
Right.
Like playing your quarterback too late in games. Oh, he got hurt. You just don't expect that to happen.
You don't. There are times when you don't put your players through unnecessary risk. Games out of hand, you probably want to take your guys out at the right moment. But that's a delicate thing. What's the right moment? What's the wrong moment, right? But when it comes to the young guys, I mean, an opportunity to play, well, if that was the case, they wouldn't let them on the ice ever. You know, the good players that don't need training camp, they wouldn't put them on the ice in camp. They'd be like, I don't want you to get hurt. No preseason, no training camp.
Can't do it.
Don't touch me in practice. We only want you for the games. No, you assume that, the risks are very minimal and the chance of injury is small. And if it happens, it happens, and it's out of your control.
Everything happens for a reason, as they say.
Yeah.
Ray in Toronto's watching from the 6. He says, Rod, there is no reason the Edmonton Elk cannot win a cup with Trevor Harris. No reason they can't win a cup with Harris. I'm a big fan. Argos should have held on to him. That's from Ray. Oh, we got to hang on to that and dissect it in the next segment because there's a lot coming off of that. They had Ricky Ray. That's how they lost Zach Caleros and Cody Fajardo and Trevor Harris. When you got a guy, you got a guy. And these guys get impatient. We had the same thing happen here in Saskatchewan when we had Darian Durant. We lost a lot of guys that went on to start in other places. The Argos didn't do anything wrong, I don't think. We need to take a break. Darren Thompson, that's that Washington fan. He says, first-time viewer here, now following. Thank you, Darren. We were reading his questions to Tori. You're getting the hook. We're the heroine of sports talk, right? Just give you a little piece, and then you're hooked.
A little taste, right? Now, glad to have you.
Very hard to wean yourself off. Yes, we're very happy to have you, Darren.
There is no Nicorette for
There's no
the Rod
Nicorette
Pedersen
for the
Show.
Rod Pedersen Show. Not at all. We got to find the comment from Trent Norway because everybody's worried. He did. Next, we got a break. We'll come back for viewer takeover. News out of Mosaic Stadium. They're turning it into the largest outdoor skating rink in the country. We'll talk about that and more. That's breaking news this morning, too. So we'll be right back. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show. You're watching on Game Plus Television, Facebook Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
You need to adapt and you need to move forward. You can't be stuck in 1920. Direct West is on the top of their game. They know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and when you work with Direct West, things are good. There's no going backwards, they're moving forward. My business would not be where it is today without the help of Direct West to help me with my website and my Facebook and all my online presence. I've worked with Direct West for about 10 years, and it's been a great experience.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose DuPont. And we got a lot going on today. There is a few breaking news items. One, the Washington football team has released quarterback Dwayne Haskins. What am I missing, though? Because they might not have a quarterback for next week's game. Alex Smith isn't 100%.
I know.
They're just saying we would rather not have you.
Yep.
And we'll play this stiff just because he broke COVID protocols. What else did he do?
Well, he's lost the respect of his teammates in the locker room. And, you got Ron Rivera, as Tori mentioned, too, Ron Rivera, who's been battling cancer, right? So immunocompromised, clearly. And then you got your quarterback, who's supposed to be your leader, just being as disrespectful as you possibly can. It's not about whether you think you're going to get it or whether you believe in it. It's about respect. and just completely disregarding that. Then on the field, and then they had a loss earlier in the year when he played, and he was bragging in the locker room to the media about his 300-yard passing game and how it wasn't his fault that they lost the game, and he did his job, and forget about everybody else. Just not a guy you want leading your organization. It's not always about talent.
Yeah.
Right?
It reminds, Well, it doesn't remind me, but the Baltimore Ravens, there's news there this morning. They've been fined $250,000 for breaking COVID protocols. Dave Haney says, the heroine of sports talk. There's no Nicorette for us. A week off has you guys refreshed and on fire. I tell you, we were 9 days away from this bunker, and I counted them. It felt like 90 days. Mm-hmm. You know you love your job when you get an extended break like that and you feel like it was a really long time.
Yeah.
As opposed to those breaks that you get when I'm like, oh, really?
It's over already.
I got to go back to work? And then the Montreal Canadiens signed Corey Perry to a 1-year deal today. So that's exciting. I can't believe how many people are still hung up on the Edmonton team name deal. If you're Edmonton, are you going to stretch that out for the next 4 or 5 months? Or just announce it already? Like, yeah, we said the Edmonton Elk. Empire won our pool. The easel's right over there.
Yeah.
We did an Instagram bracket. The Empire won. The president of the Edmonton team has said, we're not going to use Empire because it's too offensive. So then next up would be Elk. If you want the results of our poll, Edmonton, you're welcome to them. No charge. Or as I put in my column last week, let's just let Bel Air Direct pick the name of the team because clearly they're in charge of how the Edmonton football team does things. Can we get the comment from Trent in Norway, please? He is alive. He has survived the Christmas holidays so far. Trent, Norway calling. I hope Team Canada can overcome the loss of Kirby Dach and the broken wrist. A shocker with Henrik Lundqvist needing open heart surgery. Pray for a speedy recovery. Mr. Brady made the playoffs again while the Patriots didn't. Further questions? Have a good day back home. Trent in Norway, coming in hot.
Yeah, hit them all. And that was the Henrik Lundqvist thing. You know, it was kind of a bit of a sad news note today that he's going to do has open heart surgery. He said he wasn't going to play because of some heart issues. Now he's going to get it fixed up, and he's looking forward to the recovery process. I don't know if that means his playing days are over completely, but I don't know how many guys play after getting open heart surgery.
I don't know. I had my 48th birthday mid-December, as most of you. 48. I don't feel old, but when I look at a guy like Henrik Lundqvist, I was thinking about how much money he's made in the National Hockey League since he came in 2005, and it's a lot.
Yes.
Health is wealth, brother. You talk about Henrik Lundqvist having heart issues and open heart surgery. You're not going to enjoy that money if this doesn't pull through, which I believe that he will. He's obviously a very healthy guy. But maybe it's my age where I'm sitting there going, what good's money if you can't enjoy it? Not about Henrik Lundqvist, but just in life.
Yeah.
You know? You better be enjoying things.
I know.
They're so hung up on this Edmonton football name. I can't. How much more time do we need to spend on it? We've devoted, I'm conservatively saying, hours to the Edmonton football team name. Why do they care so much? Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Edmonton name should wait until a season is announced. David in Winnipeg says, the Edmonton Millionaires. David in Winnipeg, you haven't watched us for a while. We've been covering all this. We had an entire bracket over there. We can't put it on camera because it's off camera, but we went through this.
Oh, yeah.
And the Empire won. Why do they care so much?
It's a big deal, and I don't know why you want to wait when you can start selling merchandise and staying top of mind and maybe getting your season tickets, get really excited about all these things. But you want to be very careful because you don't want to just pick something and then all of a sudden, a year comes down the road and somebody points out why it's bad, and then you got to change it again and then again and again, right? We look at the CFL and the logo issues that they've had over the years, right? How many different versions of the logo they've had. It just doesn't look very good.
The viewer says, I love that name, Empire. Yeah, we all do, but the team president in Edmonton says it conjures up offensive connotations. Like, I don't get it. We got to roll tomorrow, a big hockey show. The Silver Fox, Kelly Rempel in studio, former WWF promoter, Bret Hart's manager, junior hockey insider, Joey Kenward, longtime Vancouver broadcaster, and Jordan Eberle. You might have heard of him from the New York Islanders. Thanks, Moose.
Hey, great
See you
day.
tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central and noon Eastern here on Game Plus. I had this steak!